It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Cleveland Rams head football coach Scott Riley. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you got started coaching football?
I played all my life, up from Pop Warner through high school and then in college. And once I graduated college, I decided it wasn't something I wanted to give up and get away from. So I got into teaching primarily to coach football, and I started at Harnett Central in 2004, 2005, and worked under Mark Morris there for 6 years, and then Cleveland High opened, and most of the staff from Harnett Central moved over there to Cleveland from there. So it's been my journey.
Can you talk about what you've achieved at Cleveland High School?
Yeah, well, it hasn't been my achievements as much as it's been the players' achievements and the staff that I was a part of as an assistant coach, and then last 6 years as the head coach. But I just play a small role in everything. But they've been lucky enough to have a lot of success, and luck wasn't the only factor. A lot of good players have come through and made that happen. But I think we're misquoted. We're 94-30 since the school opened, so that's a pretty good winning percentage considering started off new, and usually it takes a little while to get things going. But we were fortunate enough to get going with 11-win season, so haven't looked back since then. So averaging, I think, 10.4 wins a season and 6 conference championships in 9 seasons as well. So a lot to be proud of. I think 17 playoff wins is what we're probably most proud of. But like I said, a lot of people put a lot of hard work into that, and I'm just a small piece in the puzzle.
That's so great that y'all have had 17 playoff runs. Can you talk about the dominant duo, Omarion Hampton and Skylar Locklear, and how they are?
Yeah, they're obviously we're lucky to have them, and it's been players like that has led to the success we've had. And but having them both last year as sophomores gain a lot of experience, especially for Skylar at quarterback. It's a position that experience plays a big role in, and we're expecting big things this year from them, and they have a lot of talent, but on top of that, they both work really hard, and I think that's a characteristic you see in almost all our team members, is that they work really hard at what they do, and it pays off come Friday nights.
Who are some of the players that you've coached that are now moved on to the college level and even maybe the professional level?
Yeah, like I said, we've had a lot of good players. We usually average about 5 or 6 players a year going on to college. Notably in the last few years, Tyson Dews at Central, John Barnes at Shaw. We had about 4 players go on to Barton this past year. So a good run, I think. In 2014, we had Sterling Johnson go to Clemson as far as some of the bigger schools. He's in training camp right now with the Jets, and Cardell Rawlings went on to Wingate after missing most of his senior year with an injury, but he parlayed that into All-American honors at Wingate, and has played professionally this past year. He was in a tryout with the Cardinals, and then played in overseas a little bit as well. So, but I think it's some are close to 40 players now have gone on to play in college, and a lot of good players have come through here and gone on and paid for college as a result of that.
That's so amazing that you've had so many players from Cleveland enter the college. Can you talk about what you prepare for in the spring season since we aren't having football in the fall?
Yeah, so getting kicked off in February is definitely different, and I think if anyone sat here and told you what they expected to happen, I think they'd be lying to you, because I think it's uncharted territory. But so we're gonna treat it like a normal season, just at a different time of year. So right now, as far as preparation, we're looking at it. We're in February, leading into an August season. So we're really focused on getting bigger, faster, stronger. Weight room, if they have access to one, is going to be key this time of year. We've probably scaled back as far as the amount of teaching we've done, as far as skiing, because that's stuff we can hopefully get to later. But we are doing workouts. We're doing once a week right now, and then we'll, as we get closer to the season, ramp that up a little bit to 2 times a week, and then 3 or 4 times a week when we get right before the actual season starts.
Can you talk about some of the traditions that Cleveland high school football has?
Well, one is winning, I hope so. But I think the biggest thing with us is we kind of create a family atmosphere around the football team, that the players really get along well and play for each other. And I think that it's that attitude that results in the success we've had, not vice versa, not the success leading to a family, but the family atmosphere. And the players really like each other, like to hang out with each other, and play for one another. I think is much more powerful motivator than anything that coaches or outside influences can dictate.
Can you talk about last year going to the playoffs, playing against D.H. Conley, and how that game was leading up to the playoffs?
Yeah, Conley. Conley's our second round playoff game, and we faced him the last 2 years in the second round. Really well coached team, with a lot of good talent. So it was a tough test for us. I think overall it might have been one of the best games we played all season. In that one, total effort as far as defense and offense combined there, and I thought players really came out motivated, played really well on both sides of the football. Even in special teams, we got some turnovers there as well. So was really proud with the effort, and we needed it. You can go on the road and play such a well-coached team, and you need those kind of efforts, and it got us to the third round. And hopefully next year we can go even further and do a little bit better, because we are bringing quite a bit back from last year's team.
Can you talk about leading into the playoffs, how you prepared for teams like that? Because that was the first time I saw you whenever y'all play against Conley.
Yeah, we prepare the same way really for each team. Week in and week out, we put the same effort in the preparation, same 4 days of practice, no matter who we're playing or what the stakes are of the game. And I think that builds a sense of trust between the coaches and the players of what we're doing to get them ready, and vice versa. We know that they know how to prepare for games. If you treat them all as big games, then when the big games come, you're not left grasping at straws and having to do more than anything. So each week we kind of prepare the same. We meet on Sundays as a staff and come up with an offense and defensive game plan. We'll install that with the players. We share it with them Sunday through Huddle, and then so some of them watch that, and then but we'll install with that Monday, and then practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We probably practice more than most teams do the day before a game, but a little slower tempo, if you will, not quite as long as a normal practice, and then kick off and play on Friday. So we do that every week, same formula every week, and I think that normalizes the big games.
Can you talk about how it feels as a coach knowing that you have players that have entered the college and professional teams?
Yeah, obviously, we try to prepare them as best they can for the next level. And really to get the next level. But we feel like, with our speed and strength programs and those things and those successes, they have those opportunities in front of them, and most of them that have the talent and the desire have the ability to go on and play. So we're proud of those guys, and we're proud of the ones that don't as well.
What advice would you give upcoming high school coaches looking to get into high school football?
It's a great profession. It's very rewarding. It's probably more of a calling than it is a career, and I would just make sure that they're getting into it for the right reasons. It's not a glory-filled job, but it is a rewarding one. So if you're in it to get a lot of attention for yourself, or to win a lot of football games, if that's your motivation, it's probably not the profession for you. It's more of a calling to serve young men and make men or boys into men in the right way, and to serve their community and that kind of thing. I think that's the role high school football plays. I think if it's, and there's nothing wrong with, wanting to have the best team all the time and winning every game. But if that's what is the sole motivation, I think college football or professional football is probably the way you want to go. But high school football is a very rewarding job, and then there's a lot to it that you don't see behind the scenes. So if you want to be a high school football coach, you're going to be ready to be a custodian, be a bus driver, be a filmer, paint lines on the field. So there's a lot of the grunt jobs you don't think of as far as it goes with coaching in high school that wouldn't at different levels.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media, along with Cleveland Football on social media?
I'm not on social media, but the football team is represented through Twitter at I'm not sure what the call sign is, at CVHS FTBL, I believe is the call thing for the Twitter on there. But personally, I am not on there.
Thank you again, Coach Scotty, for your interview, and best of luck at Cleveland this upcoming year.
All right, thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach, for your interview.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.